Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. So I got a lot of good feedback from my small cap video, a lot of positive DMs, a lot of people thanking me for giving them some direction on some low cap projects. Also, a lot of people asking me more questions about other projects they're invested in and things like that. So I decided to make a top 10 larger cap alt video. And it's important to keep in mind, you don't want to go full degen low cap with everything. It's a balance, it's a mix you want to have because it's just like with any trade and anything in this game. It's a trade off between risk reward versus probability. The better your risk reward, generally speaking, the worse your probability, and vice versa. So I kind of look at that with the larger cap alts. Most of these things are going to be out for one cycle already. I'm not going to go into the fundamentals of each one too much because they've been out for a while. I mean, I'll just touch on them and stuff like that. But most people should know what these projects are, and I'm just going to give a general overview on why I like them and why I think they're good holds for this market. It's kind of like the anti flop 10. Layer 2, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail on all of these, but market cap just under $1 billion right now. I had a nice little spike this morning. Circulating supply, it's not all in circulating supply, which I don't worry about as much with most of these bigger caps. I mean, if it's something glaring, then I'll check it out. But I know that the team here, they actually just announced that they're pushing back some big unlock for like a year or something like that. So it's not something I'm too worried about with IMX. We read what is widely listed, and that's going to be the case with most of these bigger caps. And it's a layer 2. They're trying to target more of the NFT market. That's kind of been their thing since that they came out. They have a marketplace. Their website's really good, very professional. You know, got I would like for it to have a little more about their partners. I guess these are all their partners. Everybody knows they have the GameStop partnership, but I'd like for it to be listed a little better so I knew what some of these symbols were. But they have lots of games. They have tons of development going on. Layer 2s, I think, are generally speaking, layer 1s and layer 2s are a little safer. Generally speaking, IMX, I know people who work there. They say the tech is great, that the environment is great. They're building, they're always doing partnerships. This is a project that I think will go up with the market from a technical analysis standpoint. Where could it be? So nice candles here, like a lot of projects right now. Could we reach up these all-time highs? Maybe so. I think this is a project that's got that potential. We just reach up to where we made this high back earlier this year in March, just from current price. Then we're looking at about 100% gain. And if we're looking up toward the all-time high, then from current price, if we can get back up there to all-time high, about a 500% gain. But the reason I like this project is because I think that it can beat the all-time high. I think it can eclipse the all-time high and keep going. Because it came out kind of late in the cycle, almost at the end when the party was almost over. The huge run up on the ICO, and I hate to kind of see that where it just sold off so much. But had a parabolic wedge, nice breakout, made some good strength in that run up earlier in the year. And then, like a lot of alts, just kind of been withering away, and now you get some good candles. For some of these projects, I want to demonstrate this on a lot of them. Say you think you missed out. So if you would have bought right here at the very bottom and it gets to all-time highs, then you would have had a 680% gain instead of a 500% gain. So it depends on what your targets are, like I talked about earlier in the video on what. And I just bring that up because I know people feel like it's late to enter on certain projects that when they've already been printing green bars. And see this, so I get some DMs and hateful comments like, "Nine, oh my gosh, you just clearly don't understand the tokenomics of XRP, where when adoption happens, each XRP would be worth $100,000 or something crazy like that." Man, if some of these OMI holders think they've been holding the bag a long time, you don't XRP. Some of these people in this project have been believing and holding this a long time. And when I word it like that, it doesn't mean that because the project's been bad. I mean, we all know they've been in court, had a court case for a long time. And last market cycle, they had that lingering over them, and they didn't get back up here to the all-time high. Market cap of 32 billion already. And like I was saying, with an XRP max, you might be like, how could you only have XRP 9? I think it's lucky to even make the top 10. But I tell you what it does. Even though I don't love this huge market cap, I like things if you watch some of my videos before, I talk about sector a lot, and I am conscious of the sector of crypto that different projects are in, and I do like things that lead their sector. And I would, in my opinion, XRP definitely does that. Like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about what these individual projects are. We all should know what XRP is, and it's in the financial space of crypto. It wants to settle financial transactions and be the financial token of crypto, more or less, in short. And big market cap already. And when I have these conversations with some people, sometimes they say, well, XRP can go to like 100,000 in XRP or something like that. I'm like, do you understand what that would make the market cap? But I don't deny that XRP could have a big market cap. I mean, 32 billion already. Could it hit 1 trillion? I don't know. It might could. I do like this project. The market cap's already big, but here's some other things to think about. So, ARC 21, if anybody knows what that is, they're the first hedge fund that's up for ETF approval in January. And if anyone's heard of Kathy Woods, that's who she works for. And they came out with this report in January, and I've seen it a few times. And it's fairly long. You're gonna look through all. Just Google ARC 21 Bitcoin presentation January 2023, and it's like a PDF. So kind of the point of this is that they, and by the way, this is January 2023, and they were saying they were bullish on Bitcoin then as well, like I was, but they were saying at the time that they thought Bitcoin was about to go up. But the way they assess how far it could go up or whatever, it's based on these terms: the money revolution, the financial revolution, and the internet revolution. So the money revolution, that's basically like we'll start using Bitcoin for money. The financial revolution is more like decentralized finance, like smart contract integration, those kinds of things. And then the last thing is like Web3, like adoption of Web3 on a mass scale, basically. And the way that they assess this is that the price of Bitcoin and crypto depends on how much adoption it gets in these three sectors. And given that XRP is the financial token of crypto, and two of these kind of revolve around the financial, the XRP thing is talking more about the money aspect here, but it ties into this as well. And given that XRP is the leading financial token in crypto, even though it's been around a long time, there's a lot of people that are going to be ready to get out of it when it has a pump, I think. But if some of this adoption comes on, and if anyone's been in a bull market before, you'll see like just the headlines coming out all the time. People are thinking all this stuff's the wave of the future and it's never coming down and everything. So I could see XRP having a big pump depending on what kind of adoption we get next cycle. On chart, let's see what we could be looking at to get up to the all-time highs from last cycle at current price. So at current price, to get from the all-time highs from last cycle, I mean, that's only a 250% gain. So that's not a great gain for what I'm looking at. If you see, I had the zone down here identified, and that's where I was buying it up when it went down there. But we can go back further, and I'm sorry, the chart doesn't even go back this far, but you can see it on Coin Market Cap. Now, can XRP reach up to this high from a previous market cycle? I don't know. That's a tall task. I'm not saying it's impossible, but we'll have to see. So, in any event, I like XRP coming in at number 9. And I like this chart. It shows some strength in the bear market, and I liked it better before this spike up here. But that's still showing strength. It's taking out these highs. If you wanted to buy it, maybe it'll come revisit and touch down here. But it looks like it's kind of off. But it showed decent strength in the bear market. They got a lot going on. They got a big community. A lot of people are excited about this project. It's a layer 1 built on Cosmos. And like I said, I'm not going to go over all these projects and read everything here, but you can tell they got a lot going on. It's supposed to have better smart contracts, security, decentralization, and all these write-ups. You can be impressed with any crypto project. Can sound very technical down here. But I've looked at Injective some, and I think that it stands out. And coming in at number 43, because like I said, I still do take how big the cap is in to consideration. So I think at 43, I think this is something that you're going to see in the top 20, maybe top 15 at some point in the market cycle. So I like Injective coming in at number 8. So coming in next, we got Stacks, just under $1 billion market cap. Not bad for this project, in my opinion. Came out 2020, had the run up last bull market. Shows some strength this market though, and this off cycle. I've heard it described as a layer 2 for Bitcoin. I guess they say they're a Bitcoin layer for smart contracts. Maybe they don't like that terminology, but that's basically, it's a layer to add utility to Bitcoin, and I think that's exciting. And I think there's a lot of, if you want to like put it in the layer 2 basket, then I think there's, we got all these layer 2s on ETH, and I think that it's exciting to have some of these projects on Bitcoin. You look at it on chart, staying on the monthly here, not bad on chart. And if anybody watched my flop 10 video, a lot of alts had this candle in January, like a big green candle. See, Stacks had a big follow through, and then it never went down to those levels. Even this wick here, it didn't fill these gaps on the monthly. That shows some strength. And then this candle last month, it shows some strength and close. So all things considered, I like Stacks. When you look at his evaluation to BTC on chart, that's not terrible for an alt either. I think Stacks is a fun project. I think it's cool. And this is the difference when I'm talking about things from the flop 10 video that have $1 billion market cap. You feel like they're just kind of barely hanging on to the $1 billion market cap. And something like Stacks, I feel like, they're just getting started with $1 billion market cap. Not financial advice, but this is a project that I like for the bull market. All right, coming in at number 6, I believe we are, is Solana. And Solana is I don't know if you want to say controversial is the right word for the project. Just seems like people love it or hate it. So maybe controversial is the right word. At least that's what I see. But $17 billion market cap. I actually would have Solana ranked higher if it hadn't run up some here this last few weeks going into this. And it should be no surprise, at least in my opinion. I was a buyer for sure at Solana at $8, definitely. Even at 12 and 14 and even at 20, I was still buying it. And well, let's look at the chart first. So technical analysis, once again, monthly of Solana. I mean, this chart for an alt, look, it goes up, comes down, leaves this gap, does not revisit these lows of $4 like many bears were talking about. Left that gap. This strong January candle. You've seen this on some of these. If you watch my flop 10 video and then some of these that we're looking at, January on all these alts was like green, big candle like this. But look at Sol, it did not retrace. Had a little wick down right there for whatever was going on there. But generally speaking, it stayed in a tight range up there. And then look, the breakout above that range, and we're taking that high out there. You're getting the follow through candle so far this month. Sol's still hot. If you look on daily time frames, it looks like it's primed to go up to $80 probably. The evaluation is Sol to BTC. Like, you don't see this on alts very often. And there was a lot of FUD with Solana in the bear market. And when it comes to news can be a tricky topic to cover because lots of news is manipulation, but that doesn't mean you should always ignore it. Maybe think about what they're trying to tell you. I mean, even now, look, Solana surges to 14-month high. Sell pressure lingers as FTX unstaked. Always with these narratives with Solana. It's like there was these narratives all market long, but when you looked into them, they seemed thin to me, which means that it was like attempted manipulation. And the thing that I really liked about Solana is that I think that there will be at least an attempt for another layer 1 to stand up and try to make a move like ETH did. And I think that Solana is the obvious choice for that. And I'm not talking, don't send me a bunch of messages about how their tech sucks and how the network went out. I know all those things. That doesn't matter. I don't care about that. At the end of the day, I'm not the judge on what goes up and down. The market is. So I can just take the information that's out there available to me. And if Solana, who cares? Solana passes Ethereum in 24-hour NFT sales. I think they've done this more than one again since then. They actually have things going on their chain. ADA, Google, Cardano or ADA, and we're not saying anything bad about Cardano or ADA, but they don't have this. They don't have these other things and these other chains that people are talking about that are so trendy and revolutionizing the industry. I mean, how are you going to revolutionize an industry that's not even an industry hardly yet? But I understand. I know there's issues with Solana. They did an upgrade recently. It's supposed to hopefully fix the network outages. I'm not a blockchain aficionado. I'm not here to say what's going to give you the absolutely best blockchain results. But I can tell you from being in the crypto space and all things considered, I do think Solana is the one that has the best chance to come up. I'm not saying challenge Ethereum or take Ethereum out, but to try to come up and stand up and to make a big run like Ethereum did last market cycle. I do like Solana to take out this high. And this is something I should have said in the intro. When I'm looking at these, if it had an all-time high, do I like it to take the all-time high out and keep going? And for Solana, I do. I do like it to take the all-time high out and keep going. To what point? I don't know. I could put some Fibonacci extensions or look at some measure moves or something like that, but I'm not going to get into it that detail. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But I do like Solana for this bull market. I know it's not overly attractive at this price, but I can also tell you that during the this is interesting over here. If you look at the Solana chart, this is May 20. So this is when lots of alts are having their blow off top. And look at Solana. Solana, if anyone's paying attention, it was around back here during this bear market. Like, it was a little mini bear market in between Bitcoin all-time highs. Solana just showed strength during this time like a lot of coins didn't. And when it started to come out, it broke out hard and kept going up the whole time. And that's kind of what I'm seeing from it now. That's exactly what I'm seeing from it now. So I like Solana's strength going forward through this bull market. All right, getting down to it now with the top 5. We got Mexc coming in at less than $300 million market cap, a little less than some of these other projects we looked at. That's one reason I like it a little higher when we talk about it. Now, on chart, we see it came out in 2021 during the bull market. On the monthly, we see going back to 2022. Mexc had a pretty big downtrend, and then October 2022, big spike there a year ago. Odd time for it to spike, because you think the FTX dump was this candle in here, this monthly candle. But Mexc hasn't shown that. It went on downtrend, run up for the bull market. And if you would have seen this and then level off and kind of, that's what you see a lot of alts do. But you didn't see that from Mexc. Why did it pump up right here? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But let's look at its valuation of BTC. Nothing concerning there. Looks okay. So why did it pump like that at an odd time over a year ago? Well, we're going to look at this guy's video here is at Crypto Data, and I knew about this when it came out. I've been on Mexc for a while. All right, so he's talking about here that there was this thing with Elon Musk, and they were launching this. It's called Binance Futures Bluebird Index. So obviously it's connected to Twitter, and they were offering 3 tokens: BNB and Doge, obviously, and Mexc. So then it's like, well, why would they be offering Mexc? Well, let's listen to this real quick.
Things about Mexc that people may not know is actually, if you type in the $, see that a lot of tweets from Elon Musk comes up, okay? So you can see, basically scrolling down, a lot of Elon Musk tweets come up from this. And also, the Mexc network is going to release spot and perpetual futures on FTX.
And he says some other...
Okay. If you go to their website, mexc.io, you can see it says, Mexc network brings privacy and benefits from Web3 to social media like Facebook and Twitter with an open source browser extension. Now, some of the things they have, which actually has piqued my interest, says you can encrypt messages for friends' eyes.
Okay, so I think that people got the point out of that. It's that Elon Musk has tweeted about it a lot, and that it could potentially be integrated into whatever he's going to do with Doge and social media and things like that. It is kind of a risk because you don't know that, but there is some reasons to possibly think that. And I think that it's worth the risk given that the market cap isn't crazy. It's not over $1 billion. It's not anything crazy bloated. And matter of fact, when people were reaching out to me about tokens to buy, I kept saying Mexc during the run up. I said Mexc hasn't taken off yet. And if we went down and looked on this thing on like a daily or 4 hour, it's super volatile. Good luck trying to trade it. I mean, you can trade it and make good gains, but it'll take stops out all the time. It's just a volatile coin. But those are the points of why I like Mexc at number 5, which might be a surprise. Getting into definitely one of my biggest holds is Matic. I really bagged up on this at 49 cent. This is a project I like. I don't know. I use the Matic network whenever, not whenever, but lots of times when I'm just sending things around USDT or whatever. I favor Matic. Market cap's big, but I'm not assessing that too much when it comes to a project like Matic, because who knows where the limit is on a project like this. So we look at Matic on chart monthly. I mean, it handled the bear market pretty well. If we're getting this kind of run up and then not collapsing. And Matic was one that people thought could potentially collapse. I didn't really think so. I like the fundamental because they're still building. It's not like some of these other projects I talked about in the flop 10 video. Matic is so active. Matic isn't going anywhere. And then look at their valuation of BTC. That's just ridiculous for an alt. And some little tip I'll throw out there, people, especially in the States that have trouble with leverage trading and stuff like that. On Polygon ZK EVM network, you can, it's on QuickSwap. So it's super easy. You just set that network on your MetaMask and you can buy on leverage, Matic, BTC, and ETH. Up to 50x. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But the reason I'm putting this out, if you like Matic to go up, if you want to watch it on pullbacks, and buy it up there and use 2x leverage or 3x, 2 to 3x, then you're banking on, well, they'd have to take a 50 to 30% chop for me to get liquidated. So yeah, and it's on a DEX, and it's in your custody. It's in your MetaMask and everything like that. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, and I love this project, and no surprise that it's in the top 5. Chainlink, I really love Chainlink for this cycle. Similar cap as Matic. The narrative changed for Chainlink a little bit. That last cycle they were just an Oracle, and now they've gotten into cross-chain stuff. We look at it on chart monthly. I mean, I don't know why this is up here, but it looks good on chart. The bull market didn't hurt it too bad. Came down here, looked perfectly, almost filled that gap with this wick down here to these levels over here, and left. I didn't really trade in this area. You can kind of say it left a gap, and it's just strength. Link, it doesn't follow BTC all the time. It's a volatile coin, but I definitely like this. I mean, not financial advice, but I like this to take out the all-time high and keep going. I don't know, I mentioned that with Matic. I like that as well. We look at its evaluation to BTC. I mean, like Matic, that's just ridiculous for an alt. It just holds up well, and that's really all I'm going to say about Link. All right, coming in at number 2, we got Doge, and I'll be honest with you guys, the project I didn't like last cycle. I didn't like the meme coin thing. I didn't like the tokenomics, a lot of things. I just didn't like it. But the reason why I do like it is pretty simple. Elon Musk is going to stick by it. He's going to use it in his stuff. So it's another example. It doesn't matter what I like. Elon Musk likes it. He's a lot more important than I am. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter what his reasons are. He's decided to go with Doge. He has stuck by it. He's not gonna. I really do feel strongly about saying that he's not gonna abandon Doge. If we look at Doge on chart, I mean, it's similar to these other patterns I like. Look, go up, didn't come down. What gaps did it fill? This wick filled that body gap, and that was it. That's all it got. And Doge, it didn't show a ton of strength. Spent a lot of time in the area that it's at right now, and I've told people that for Doge, that it's actually a decent buy now, even after prices have went up a little bit. Is the valuation to BTC similar to what you see on that chart? Nothing concerning there, but it's not. It's a little more than just that Elon Musk likes Doge. So I don't know how many people may know about this. I knew about it even before he bought Twitter and named it X and things like that. So a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people do know, but a lot of people don't know that Elon Musk is actually who started PayPal, and he sold it in 2008. And there's even some people that think that he was the person or involved with making Bitcoin because he made PayPal, so he's obviously very savvy with the financial systems and knew a lot about it. And then the next year, Bitcoin came out, and it was also, I think, written in the same language as SpaceX and Tesla. But most people don't think that it was Elon Musk. But he's one of the people out there that is pointed to occasionally. But the point of this is that he had an idea years ago for this X app, and it was a finance app. It was a payment app for finance. And I thought when he bought Twitter that was what he was going for before he ever changed to X, that he was going to use Twitter for his visions for that payment app. And then you talk about Doge, possibly even Mask getting integrated in there somehow. How? I don't know. But we already know he likes crypto. He was already involved in last bull run with Bitcoin as well as Doge. And he's spoke on it all bear market long. He hasn't wavered. So I think he's got something up his sleeve. I don't like to bank in on going what ifs, but here's the thing: if he doesn't have something up his sleeve, he's still going to continue to promote Doge. And Doge, it has so many bag holders that just believe in it so much and think it's kind of that mindset I've talked about a lot. They think if they just hold it, they'll make a lot of money, and you might with Doge, but they're going to probably keep holding it through all-time highs and through the whole bull market. A lot of people will. So those are the reasons on why I like Doge at number 2. And finally, arriving at number 1, we got Caspa, and I believe this is probably the only one that I had that wasn't out previous market cycle, but it's not a small cap. I mean, at $1.3 billion market cap, and it's one of my biggest regrets of the bear market, guys, that I didn't buy into Caspa earlier. And this is a great, let this be a lesson. When the crypto, sometimes things don't have pullbacks. You're waiting for it to get a pullback in this great price. It's like the example I mentioned of Solana when it came out of that mini summer bear market. People waiting for a pullback. It never comes. And that's what gets people to buy higher, because the pullback doesn't come, so then people buy at higher prices. But this thing has just been a beast. I mean, it's I guess you call it layer 1 proof of work concept, but this has just been out of control, printing all-time highs all the time. I mean, the chart is ridiculous on this monthly. I mean, you might say, yeah, it'll go down, but I spoke about this in previous videos, that this isn't, maybe saying that this isn't uncommon, but it's not uncommon to look at alt charts and see if they come out right about the time of a bull run, that they just kind of go up real big and it's a big parabolic spike. So it does not have to go back down. It doesn't. If you want to get into Casper, I would just say buy, take a DCA purchase, and then watch it and get a feel for when it's good. I mean, this is a valuation to BTC. I'm not going to talk. What can you say? This thing has been an absolute monster, just a beast since it came out. There's no reason to think it won't go for the bull run. I think everyone's going to keep waiting for a pullback that never comes, and it's just going to keep going up. And that's not FOMO bull talk, because I just said I don't have any. Well, I got some, but I wasn't big on Caspa. And this is one exception to where I put things out in the order that I have them. But and Caspa isn't my biggest holding for a larger cap alt, but that is because I couldn't get my hands on it. I was waiting for pullbacks. I slept on it a little bit when it first came out. I can't catch them all either. But I see the error in my ways. And I'll tell you this, if a pullback does come, you're waiting for pullbacks and stuff like that, say BTC pulls back, because it will happen eventually. Identify these projects now: Caspa, Gains for a Living, Rio, these ones that maybe left you a little bit, and have your funds ready. Maybe set limit orders at low levels for them that you think that may can revisit. Where could those levels be? Look on decent time frames, daily, 4 hour, maybe. Look where gaps could be closed. The examples I'll talk about in the video, could price come down and touch that wick or the body of the candle? So anyway, I hope everyone got something out of that. That is my top 10 larger cap alts. So real quick, throwing the honorable mention, like I said, I'm not going to go these projects too much, just a real quick touch on them. H-bar, I like at the market cap, and I like H-bar because of the tech, and I think at a rank 31, I think at some point this market cycle is going to ease its way up into the top 10. Maybe not stay there, but I think it'll make it there at some point. So BCH, and that might surprise a lot of people, and it's kind of contrary to some of the ways that I talk about analysis, but I'll tell you the reason why I put BCH up there, because it closely follows BTC. So if you just want, but it'll give you a better gain, it'll be more volatile to the upside and downside. But if you just want something that kind of follows BTC very closely, then it's Bitcoin Cash. And I mentioned in the last video that there's actually a decent contingency of people out there that maintain that Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. And it has to do with when Bitcoin Cash forked off, and they think that Bitcoin Cash is more in line with Satoshi's vision of Bitcoin. So BNB, another one that might surprise you, because a lot of people were bearish on this token, and I was very bearish on it during the bear market. I had shorted it every time it hit 330 and 340. But you have to go against the grain and against narratives if you want to be first or be different and catch some of these things sometimes. So the thing about BNB is, all right, so why is BNB so fudded so hard? because it's backed by the biggest exchange in the world, and they have a ton of development on their chain, and you can use their coin on their chain. So I think that people have probably got a little too focused on the FUD for BNB. The lows are in, and I think that BNB is probably a good chance for a 10x next market cycle, even at this price, to be honest with you. Arbitrum, I think that layer 2 is going to be big this cycle, like Arbitrum. And rounding out the honorable mention, we have Quant.